Alright, so this is the most important lens that I have in my arsenal. But is it justified by the crazy price? Let's talk about it. So this Sony 10-20mm G-series lens features a super versatile wide-angle field of view, crazy fast autofocus, small and lightweight design, great overall build quality, bunch of buttons, weather sealing, and a bunch more. So what are the drawbacks? Why am I even talking about this? Even though it is super lightweight and small, that also means that all the buttons that we have here are like cluttered up, especially if I have gloves on like right now. It's hard for me to separate the focus ring from the zoom ring. Let's not even talk about the buttons that we have here and switches. They're super small, but at the same time, it's nice that we have them. And maybe in the summer when I don't have to wear these, it will be much easier to use. For the sake of changing things, I'm on the floor. So this is the lens. Manual focus switch, customizable button. You have the zoom rocker or zoom switch, G-series logo, and then the name of the lens. Well, name, numbers. So when it comes to the zoom rings, they have this plastic construction, little bit of texture, actual rotation and feel of the rings. The focus ring is nice. It's not too stiff, it's not too light, just the right amount. But when it comes to the zoom ring, it is a little bit stiffer. It's not like stiff, but it has like more resistance, as if it had like way more like lubrication in it. However, the biggest complaint I have about it is the power zoom like switch. Over here I have it taped, because whenever I'm zooming and I accidentally bump into this, it starts messing with the zoom. Even when I'm just holding the lens like I usually am, if I just touch it a little bit, it starts zooming in and out, which is super annoying. This lens really shines in the fact that the optics inside are pretty great, knowing that it is a super small lens and it's a very versatile zoom range. The optics are quite nice. The lens is quite sharp. All right, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's go. Let's take some pictures of the stuff that we have here. I'll show you what 20mm looks like. I'll also show you what 10mm looks like, just so you know, just so I also know. We have a nice wide view here. Let's do one photo at 10mm right here. And then let's do another zooming in 20. This is what it looks on 10mm, and this is 20. Not really worrying about composition, so please don't come at me. Okay, so this is gonna be a quick segment. I wanted to tell you about a little adventure I took with the 10-20 just a few days ago. I took it outside to take some night sky photos, which in my opinion is the most challenging photography field there is, because everything comes into play. The sharpness, distortion, chroma, everything. Basically what I found out is that this lens is pretty sharp. I used it at its widest, so 10mm APS-C, 15mm full frame equivalent. It is really sharp. Like, I took a photo of the Milky Way trail. Both of the photos are stacked. I stacked 20 pictures on top of one another to reduce the noise. You can see in the Milky Way tail image that you can actually spot Andromeda. The stars are nice and sharp. In the corners, yes, they start falling apart a little bit, but if you need to take some photos, if you have a nice landscape with the Milky Way or something, you can absolutely do that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Back to the video. I need a vlog test. Let's go. Here we are. This is the wideness of this lens. This is our second camera, the Lumix S5, yes. All right, let's do the good old autofocus test. I can see that it tracks like my eyes super quickly. So, since the lens is so wide, it shouldn't have any issues like focusing, since the focus plane is so big. You're not gonna get any blurry backgrounds with this lens. If you want that, the 11mm f1.8 is probably a better choice. Also, this is like a stabilization test a little bit. I have the A6700 at the moment. It has IBIS turned on, So the sensor is stabilizing a little bit of the movement, but the lens has no stabilization by itself. So how does this look? How shaky is the footage? Am I gonna be able to fix it in post if it shakes too much? Yeah. When I compare the 10-20mm f4 to other G-series lenses like this 15mm f1.4, they have nice construction, but at the same time, they have the tiniest bit of difference, which is a little bit confusing to me. This doesn't affect the performance in any way. I'm not sure if you will be able to see it, but they have the tiniest difference in the texture itself, and maybe even in the color. Like, the 10-20 feels a little bit darker than the 15mm. It seems like the 15mm is a little bit more textured. What I don't understand is why the 10-20 doesn't have this nice writing like it does on the 15mm. This just has letters printed on it. Maybe it's because this is a prime lens. It just like tickles my OCD a little bit. There is just one reason why I bought it over the competition, which is Tamron and Sigma. Since it has this killer feature, which is internal zooming. It basically has a way better weather sealing. I am zooming the lens, right? But nothing is extending. When you have an extending barrel, you have the chance of dust getting in over time, but the lens element will always be clean inside. Another fact about this lens is that the focus wheel is linear. Although this is a wide-angle lens and it doesn't really need a bunch of focusing, it's still a nice feature. I believe you can find like a vast variety of uses with this lens, since it does have a zoom, so it's not really just stuck at the widest angle. Either that be photos or videos, weddings or nature or, I don't know, houses. At the same time, you can easily survive without having this lens. It's not an essential, it's just something nice to have. But this will just come in handy if you do create a lot of content and if you want to switch things up, give a little bit of a more unique perspective, or just make the viewer feel present. Yeah, here we are. Let me boost the ISO up a little bit. This is the wideness of this lens. I am sitting maybe 50 centimeters from the camera. I'm already tiny. Let me go up to like 30. My head looks like an egg now. But that's the difference between this Sigma that I just took off. That was 18mm, this is 10mm now. You can see how wide it gets. It is a very unique perspective. I believe this gives you a much more present feel. Like you see, it's fun to zoom in and zoom out. It is a fun lens. This, alongside some lens with a wider aperture for low light, will probably be like a kit you can bring to any place, any vacation, anytime. I recommend it, although the price is steep. If you do want something a little bit more affordable with better low light performance, there is the 11mm f1.8 from Sony, which just offers a wide angle at a wide aperture. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was a quick video. Please click the buttons. I really appreciate all your support on the recent videos. I've been just hooked to make more stuff now. And yeah, see you next time. I've been such a fan of this clip. It's just self-satisfying to put your lens on, like put your camera on it and taking it off. Like, hear this out. No, that wasn't a good click. We need a better click. Check this out. Yeah, that was a good one.